I need space, she says, and I hand her a suitcase. Sarah stands in our kitchen, backlit by the morning sun streaming through the bay window we picked out together 3 years ago. She's wearing that silk blouse I bought her for Christmas. The expensive one, she said, made her feel powerful. She looks powerful now. Her chin lifted, shoulders squared like she's practiced this moment in front of a mirror. I'm sorry, I say, though I heard her perfectly. Space, Michael. Time to think. We've been off lately and I just need to figure out what I want. What she wants. The words taste like copper in my mouth, metallic and wrong. I set down my coffee cup slowly, carefully, the way you'd set down a loaded gun. How much space are we talking about? She blinks. She expected tears, maybe anger. She expected me to beg. That's what the old Michael would have done. The Michael from 6 months ago who didn't check phone records, who didn't notice the new perfume or the Tuesday book club that never discussed a single book. A few weeks? Her voice lifts at the end, making it a question. Maybe I could stay with Claire. Claire, the friend who's been single for 2 years and whose Instagram is a manifesto on reclaiming your wild side. Claire, who I've never actually seen Sarah with, but who apparently can't get through a Wednesday without my wife's company. Sure, I say. Let me help you pack. Her face does something complicated. Relief wrestling with confusion. You're okay with this? Sarah, if you need space to figure things out, I'm not going to hold you hostage. I'm already moving toward the stairs, toward our bedroom where her clothes hang next to mine in a walk-in closet that suddenly feels like a mausoleum. She follows me, heels clicking on hardwood. I thought you'd be upset. I am upset. I pull her largest suitcase from the top shelf, the one with the broken wheel she kept meaning to replace. But what good would fighting do? Either you want to be here or you don't. I'm calm, terrifyingly calm, the kind of calm that comes from 3 weeks of knowing, of watching my wife apply lipstick before grocery shopping, of finding hotel receipts buried in her car's center console. The kind of calm that comes from sitting in a lawyer's office while a woman named Patricia explains asset division in a voice smooth as aged whiskey. Sarah sits on our bed, watching me fold her sweaters with geometric precision. You're scaring me a little. Why? I'm giving you what you asked for. You're being too understanding. I pause, holding a cream-colored cardigan that still smells like her vanilla body spray. Would you prefer I throw things, scream, make this harder than it needs to be? No, but then let me do this my way. I place the cardigan in the suitcase, move to her dresser, start pulling out jeans and workout clothes. She goes to the gym 4 times a week now, down from never. She's lost 12 pounds. She glows. For him. How long have you known? She asks quietly. My hands freeze on a pair of running shorts. Known what? Don't, Michael, just don't. I turn to face her, and for the first time this morning I let her see something real in my eyes. Not anger, worse, pity. 3 weeks, I tell her. Give or take. She goes pale beneath her carefully applied makeup. Then why didn't you say anything? Because I wanted to see what you'd do. I resume packing faster now. I wanted to know if you'd tell me yourself or if you'd do exactly what you're doing now. Pretend this is about finding yourself instead of finding him. It's not, she starts, but I raise a hand. Don't lie to me anymore, Sarah. You've earned a lot of things from me over the years, but you haven't earned more lies. She's crying now, mascara tracking down her cheeks in twin rivers of black. Part of me wants to comfort her. That part is surprisingly small. I zip the suitcase closed, set it upright, extend the handle. There's an envelope on the kitchen counter, I say. Take it with you. What is it? Space, I tell her. All the space you'll ever need. She doesn't open the envelope right away. I watch her from the kitchen doorway as she stands at the counter, one hand on the manila folder like it might bite. Her suitcase waits by the front door. A beige sentinel marking the end of something that died weeks ago but is only now being buried. Open it, I say. Michael, can we just talk for a... Open it. Her hands shake as she slides out the papers. I know the moment she understands because her whole body goes rigid, like someone just pressed pause on her life. The petition for dissolution of marriage is 32 pages long, but you only need to read the first one to get the picture. You already filed? Her voice is barely a whisper. 2 days ago. You've been served, legally speaking. I had them deliver it to your office, but you weren't there. I lean against the doorframe, arms crossed. You were at the Marriott on 5th, room 438. She sets the papers down like they're burning her fingers. You had me followed? I had our marriage protected. There's a difference. This is insane. She's shaking her head, backing away from the counter. You can't just end a marriage because I asked for some time to fuck your Pilates instructor? The words come out sharp, surgical. That's what we're calling it now? Time. Her face crumbles. How did you? His name's Ethan. 29 years old, drives a Jeep Wrangler with a CrossFit sticker on it. You've been seeing him for 4 months. I recite the facts like a grocery list. Tuesdays and Thursdays at the Marriott. Sometimes Saturdays when you tell me you're doing overtime at the hospital. Sarah slides down the cabinet until she's sitting on our kitchen floor, still in her expensive blouse, still looking powerful but now broken open like a cracked egg. I didn't mean for it to happen. No one ever does. I was going to end it. I swear to God, Michael, I was going to. When? I push off the doorframe, walk to the coffee maker, pour myself a fresh cup. My hands are steady. I've practiced this steadiness. Before or after you asked me for space? Before or after you packed your bags to go stay with Claire? She looks up at me, mascara streaked and small. This is the moment she's supposed to become sympathetic. This is where the audience is meant to see her humanity, her regret, the complicated woman who made mistakes. But all I see is a stranger wearing my wife's face. I love you, she says. You love the house. I gesture around our kitchen with its granite countertops and farmhouse sink. You love the Mercedes in the garage. You love the life we built, the stability, the image. I take a sip of coffee. It's bitter. Perfect. You just don't love me enough to not fuck someone else. That's not fair. Fair? I laugh, and it sounds wrong even to my own ears, hollow, echoing. You want to talk about fair? Read page 18. She reaches for the papers with trembling hands, flips through them. I know when she hits it because the color drains from her face entirely. The house is in your name, she says slowly. Bought before the marriage with money from my inheritance. Pennsylvania's not a community property state, Sarah. You should have done your research. The car, leased under my company. You're welcome to buy out the lease if you'd like. $26,000 should cover it. She's scanning faster now, watching our life get divided up like a pie she thought she'd get half of. My retirement account. Yours, I'm not touching it. Just like I'm not asking for alimony even though I could, technically, since you're the one who violated the marital contract. I set my coffee down. See how generous I'm being? I'm giving you exactly what you gave me, nothing. You're punishing me. I'm protecting myself. There's a difference. She stands up, suddenly angry, the grief burned away by indignation. You're being cruel. I'm being clear. I meet her eyes, hold them. You wanted out, but you wanted to keep the safety net. You wanted to have your affair and your comfortable life, and when those two things couldn't coexist anymore, you tried to make it my fault. I need space, like I'm the problem. Like I'm what's broken here. Maybe you are, she shouts, and there it is in the real Sarah, the one who's been hiding behind tears and silk blouses. Maybe if you'd paid attention to me, if you'd made me feel wanted instead of just comfortable, I wouldn't have what? Cheated, lied, betrayed everything we built together? I'm not shouting. That's the worst part. I'm still calm, still measured. You're right, Sarah, I made you comfortable. I gave you stability, loyalty, a home. How terrible of me. She grabs her purse from the counter, slings it over her shoulder. I'll fight this. I'll get a lawyer and we'll read page 23. She doesn't want to, but she does. Her lips move as she reads the private investigator's report summary. Dates, times, locations, photographs attached as exhibits. A text message chain recovered from cloud backup where she tells Ethan she's going to leave me soon, where she calls our marriage dead anyway. You bastard, she whispers. Probably. I pick up her suitcase, bring it to her. But I'm a bastard who won't be made a fool of anymore. She takes the handle, and for just a moment, standing in our kitchen with morning light turning everything gold, she looks like she might say something real, something true, an actual apology maybe, or at least an acknowledgement of the wreckage. Instead, she says, "You'll regret this." I regret a lot of things, Sarah. Stopping you isn't one of them. She walks to the front door, opens it, pauses on the threshold. Where am I supposed to go? I don't answer. After a moment, she leaves, pulling the door closed behind her with a soft click that sounds like an ending. I stand in my kitchen, my house, my name on the deed, and wait to feel something other than empty. My phone buzzes. A text from Patricia, my attorney. She's been served. Clock starts now. Stay strong, I text back. Already done, but I'm lying. Standing in the ruins of my marriage, holding a cold cup of coffee in an empty house. I'm not strong, I'm just well prepared, and somehow, that feels so much worse. 3 days pass before she comes back. I'm in the garage, changing the oil on the Ducati I haven't ridden in 2 years when I hear her car in the driveway. Not the Mercedes. She's driving something small and silver, probably a rental. She parks behind my truck, blocking me in. Tactical, I don't get up. I let her come to me. Michael. She's standing in the garage doorway, backlit again, always backlit. But this time there's no silk blouse, no armor. She's wearing jeans and a sweatshirt I don't recognize. Her hair's in a ponytail. She looks younger, scared. Sarah, can we talk? We have lawyers for that. She takes 3 steps into the garage, into my space. Please, 5 minutes. I slide out from under the bike, wipe my hands on a rag, dark with oil. Clock's ticking. She flinches at that, but she pushes forward. I talked to a lawyer. 3 of them, actually. And they all said the same thing. That I don't have much of a case. She's choosing words carefully, like navigating a minefield. That the prenup I signed was airtight and the evidence is damning. I offer, comprehensive. She wraps her arms around herself. One of them asked if you worked in surveillance. Said the documentation was unusually thorough. I don't tell her about the nights I couldn't sleep, the hours I spent building the case against her like a man possessed. Receipts, GPS data from the car, phone records I had every legal right to access as the account holder. I became a detective investigating the murder of my own marriage. What do you want, Sarah? I want to understand why you didn't just confront me. Why all this? She gestures at nothing, at everything. If you knew for 3 weeks, why the performance? Why help me pack? I set down the rag, lean against my workbench. Because I needed to see it. I needed to watch you choose him over me. Over us. That's not what that's exactly what you were doing. My voice stays level, but something underneath it shifts. You were going to move in with him, weren't you? That's what staying with Claire meant. Her silence is an answer. He has a 1-bedroom in Fishtown, I continue. Above that coffee shop you suddenly started loving. You were going to play house with a 29-year-old who teaches Pilates and quotes Joe Rogan. And you were going to do it while I kept paying your phone bill and car insurance. It wasn't like that. Then what was it like? For the first time, my voice rises. Explain it to me, Sarah. Make it make sense. Because I've spent 3 weeks trying to understand how the woman I married, the woman who cried at our wedding and promised me forever, could do this. You stopped seeing me. The words explode out of her. You stopped looking at me like I mattered. Everything became about work, about the next project, the next deal. When's the last time you touched me? Really touched me? 2 months ago. Thursday, October 7th. You said you were tired, she blinks. You remember the date? I remember all the dates. Every rejection, every excuse, every time you pulled away first. I push off the workbench and she takes a step back. You want to blame me? Fine, I worked too much. I got comfortable. I stopped making you feel like the center of the universe. But you know what I didn't do? I didn't fuck someone else. Is that what this is about? Punishment? Making me suffer? This is about protection. I'm closer now, close enough to smell that new perfume. You want to know the worst part? I would have worked on us. If you'd come to me 6 months ago and said, Michael, I'm unhappy, I need more, I would have moved mountains. Therapy, date nights, whatever it took. You would have just, yes, the word is sharp, but you didn't give me that chance. You found someone who made you feel alive and you took him. You made your choice and now you're upset that choices have consequences. Tears are streaming down her face now. I didn't know what I was doing. I was confused and lonely and he made me feel special, wanted, young. I laughed bitterly. You think you're the first bored wife to fuck her trainer? You're a cliché, Sarah. A walking midlife crisis in Lululemon pants. She slaps me. The sound cracks through the garage like a gunshot. My cheek stings, throbs. We both freeze, shocked by the violence of it. Don't you dare, she whispers. Don't you dare reduce me to that. I touch my face, feel the heat there. Then what are you? Enlighten me. I'm a woman who made a mistake. A terrible, stupid mistake, her voice breaks. I'm someone who got lost and made the worst possible choice, and I'm sorry. I'm so fucking sorry, Michael, and there it is. The apology I've been waiting for. It should feel like victory. Instead, it feels like ashes. I know you are, I say quietly, but sorry doesn't fix this. It could, if you'd let it. She reaches for my hand and I let her take it. Her fingers are cold. We could start over. Counseling, whatever you want. I'll end it with Ethan, block him, never see him again. You already did end it with him. She freezes. What? He dumped you. 2 days ago. Sent you a text saying he couldn't handle the drama and that he needed to focus on his business. I watch understanding dawn on her face like a cruel sunrise. You didn't come back because you realized you loved me. You came back because you had nowhere else to go. Her hand drops from mine. How do you know that? Because I'm still paying your phone bill, remember? Cloud backup, I don't feel good about this. I feel like a man dissecting a corpse looking for cause of death. He replaced you already. Met someone at his gym. 23 years old. Posted her on Instagram yesterday. Sarah sits down on the concrete floor, just collapses like a puppet with cut strings. She's crying, really crying now, the kind of sobs that shake your whole body. I lost everything, she says. I lost you, I lost him, I lost the house. I'm staying in a motel near the airport. I'm 37 years old and I'm sleeping in a motel. I should feel satisfaction. I should feel vindicated. Instead, I feel tired. You didn't lose everything, I tell her. You gambled everything. There's a difference. She looks up at me, mascara everywhere, snot running from her nose. She's destroyed. Utterly destroyed. And against every logical instinct, some part of me still wants to help her up. I'll give you something, I hear myself say. Not the house, not the car, but I'll help with first month's rent somewhere. Security deposit. That's it. Why, she asks. Why would you help me after everything? I crouch down until we're eye level. Because for 8 years you were my wife. And despite everything you've done, despite how much you've hurt me, I apparently can't watch you sleep in a motel. You still love me. She says it like a revelation. I still remember loving you. There's a difference. I stand up, extend my hand. After a moment, she takes it. I pull her to her feet. The divorce proceeds, I say. No contest, no delays. You sign everything Patricia sends you. And you'll help me? Once. This is not reconciliation, Sarah. This is closure. She nods, wiping her face with her sleeve. Can I ask you something? One question. If I'd come to you 6 months ago before any of this, would it have been enough? Would we have made it? I think about that. Really think about it. I don't know, I finally answer. But we'll never find out now, will we? She leaves without another word. This time I watch her go, my phone buzzes. Unknown number. The text reads, "You're making a mistake helping her. She doesn't deserve your mercy. Ethan." Somehow he has my number. I delete the message and block him. Then I go inside, pour myself 3 fingers of bourbon, and sit in my empty house wondering when being right started feeling so much like being wrong. The check clears on a Tuesday. $2,000 transferred to Sarah's account. Enough for first month, last month, and deposit on a decent 1-bedroom. Not charity. Severance pay for a marriage that died on the job. I don't hear from her for a week. Then on the following Tuesday, she shows up at my office. "Mr. Sterling, your wife is here," my assistant says over the intercom, and I realize nobody's told her yet. Ex-wife. Almost ex-wife. Wife-shaped ghost. Send her in. Sarah enters wearing a suit I bought her 2 years ago for a hospital fundraiser. She's assembled herself carefully. Hair styled, makeup precise, armor restored. But I can see the cracks now. The way her smile doesn't quite reach her eyes. The tremor in her hands as she clutches her purse. This is a surprise, I say, not standing. Power play. Petty but effective. I sign the papers. She places a folder on my desk. Everything. Patricia already has copies, but I wanted to give you these myself. I open the folder. Her signature, neat and final on every page that requires it. Dissolution of marriage, asset division, settlement agreement. The death certificate of us, notarized and complete. Thank you, I say, and mean it. That's it? Thank you? She laughs, high and brittle. 8 years, Michael. 8 years reduced to thank you. What do you want me to say? Something real. She sits without being invited, crosses her legs. Still playing power games. You've been so controlled through all of this, so calm. Like you're negotiating a business deal instead of ending a marriage. Would you prefer I fall apart? I'd prefer you feel something. I lean back in my chair, study her. She's right. I've been operating on autopilot for weeks. Methodical, precise, emotionally anesthetized. It's easier that way, safer. I feel plenty, I tell her. I just don't see the point in performing it for you. That's always been your problem. She leans forward and I catch a whiff of her perfume. The new one, his scent still clinging to her. You keep everything locked away. Your emotions, your needs, your wants. You think being controlled makes you strong, but it just makes you absent. And you think fucking your Pilates instructor made you present? See? She gestures at me. Even now you deflect. You make it about what I did instead of examining what you didn't do. What I didn't do. I stand up now, hands flat on my desk. I worked 60-hour weeks to build a life that gave you every comfort. I paid off your student loans. I supported your career. I showed up, Sarah, every single day I showed up. But you never let me in. Her voice drops. In 8 years, I never saw you cry. Never saw you truly angry or scared or vulnerable. You were always the strong one, the provider, the protector. But I didn't marry a role. I married a person. And somewhere along the way, you forgot how to be one. The words land like bullets. Clean entry wounds, devastating internal damage. That's not fair, I say quietly. Fair? She stands too. You want to talk about fair? I ruined our marriage. I accept that. But you killed it long before I cheated. You just didn't notice because dead things don't require much attention. Get out. No. She walks around my desk, and suddenly she's in my space. Too close. Not until you admit it. Not until you stop pretending you're the perfect victim here. I never claimed to be perfect. But you claimed the moral high ground, the wounded party. The betrayed husband. She pokes my chest. You want to know why I cheated? Really why? Sarah, because I was lonely. Achingly, devastatingly lonely. I was married to a man who treated me like a project to be managed instead of a person to be loved. Her eyes are wet now, but her voice stays strong. Ethan was an idiot. A rebound. A mistake. But he looked at me like I was the only person in the room. When's the last time you looked at me that way? I grab her wrist, stop her from poking me again. The day I found out about him. I looked at you across our kitchen and saw a stranger. That's the last time I really saw you. We're standing too close, breathing hard, years of resentment compressed into inches of space. And then she kisses me. It's not gentle. It's angry and desperate and wrong, and for exactly 3 seconds I kiss her back. I taste her tears and her rage and the ghost of what we used to be. Then I push her away. No, I say. We're not doing this. Why not? She's crying openly now. Why can't we just... Because this isn't love, Sarah. This is grief. And I won't fuck my way through mourning our marriage. She slaps me again. Same cheek, same spot. It hurts less this time. Or maybe I'm just learning to expect the pain. You self-righteous prick, she hisses. You stand there judging me, acting like you're so much better, but you're not. You're just scared. Scared to feel, scared to fail, scared to be human. Maybe. I touch my cheek, feel the heat, but at least I don't blame my fear on someone else. She grabs her purse, heads for the door, then stops, hand on the handle. I found an apartment, she says without turning around. In Manayunk. Small, but it's mine. I start a new job next month and better hours, better pay. I'm going to therapy. Working on myself. That's good. I'm telling you this because I want you to know something. Now she turns and her eyes are clear. I'm going to be okay. Not because of you or despite you, but because I'm choosing to be. I'm done being the villain in your story. You were never... Yes, I was. In your head, I'm the cheating wife. The cliché. The cautionary tale you'll tell yourself about why you should never trust anyone again. She opens the door. But I'm more than the worst thing I did. And someday maybe you'll realize you're more than the best thing you did, too. She leaves. Again. This time feels different. Final. I sit down heavily in my chair, touch my cheek where it still stings. My assistant appears in the doorway. Are you okay, Mr. Sterling? No, I say honestly. But I will be. She nods and closes the door. I open my desk drawer, pull out the wedding photo I've kept hidden there for weeks. Sarah and I on the courthouse steps, laughing at something I can't remember. We look impossibly young, impossibly happy. I stare at it for a long time, trying to remember what love felt like before it turned to ashes in my mouth. My phone rings. Patricia. The judge signed off, she says. 30 days and it's final. Congratulations. Thanks, I say to my lawyer, to the photo, to the empty office. I hang up and do something I haven't done in years. I cry, not loud, not dramatic. Just quiet tears sliding down my face while I hold a photograph of two people who don't exist anymore. My assistant knocks softly. Michael? Do you need anything? Yeah, I say through the closed door. Cancel my afternoon. I'm going home. But when I get there, standing in my kitchen with its granite counters and farmhouse sink, I realize I don't know where home is anymore. The house is just walls. The marriage is just paperwork. And I'm just a man who won a battle by losing a war. I pour bourbon I won't drink and sit in silence so complete it becomes its own kind of noise. Somewhere across the city, Sarah is probably doing the same thing. We're finally equal. Both of us alone. Both of us, right? Both of us destroyed. I raise my glass to the empty kitchen. To space, I say to nobody. All the space we'll ever need. Then I drink it anyway and wait for the burning to feel like something other than what I deserve. 6 months later, I see her at Whole Foods. She's laughing with someone. A woman, not Ethan, picking out avocados like it's the most important decision in the world. Her hair's shorter. She looks lighter somehow. Free. She sees me. We both freeze. Then she smiles. Not the weapon she used to wield, but something softer, something real. I smile back. We don't speak. Don't approach. Just acknowledge what we were and what we've become. Two people who destroyed each other learning to build themselves back alone. I leave with my groceries. She leaves with hers. The space between us finally feels like enough.